Hi there, welcome to Diosas Ex Maquinas, and today we're going to be doing a reading, but first we're going to center a little bit with art meditation. So what you'll need is 4 markers. I'm choosing a black, a yellow, a green, and a red, and these are acrylic brush tip markers from anywhere. It doesn't matter where you get them from. And I've got 760, I've got 794, 615, I don't know that you can see that, and 611. I've also got a 3x5 little piece of canvas. Low stress, we're not going to do a whole bunch of stressing out with like having a huge piece of paper to fill, just a little 3x5. Let's get started. So, set you up there, and let's just start with something that represents where we are in the year. Let's say happy Juneteenth. And this canvas is a little bit more coarse than what I'm used to working with. So I'm just gonna go over some of these bits a second time to kind of clean them up. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And this doesn't have to be perfect, because what is perfection anyway? And going over these letters, anything that you want it to be a little smoother, a bit more refined, that's part of the meditation too. Alrighty. I think that's good enough. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so now that we've got some red down, let's go in with some yellow. And we're just going to draw some hearts. And maybe another one here. And maybe just one more here, kind of like a triangle that we're making with the other points of the heart. It's like boop, boop, boop. It's good enough. Let's go in with black. And we're just going to follow the shapes that we've got here, being careful not to smudge the paint that we have down, since we're not waiting for it to dry. Boop into that space, boop into that space, boop, boop, into that space. And already feeling ourselves calm down and unwind from whatever intensity or go, go, go energy we had tapped into earlier. And if you hear any lapping in the background, it's my cat cleaning himself in the tree right next to my desk. So he's definitely enjoying the calm vibes we've got going on here. And let's go around these yellow hearts with our green color. And I know my brain just took over when I was doing that first heart, and even now while I'm doing this second heart, because the shape that I drew around that first heart is not in the shape of what that heart actually is. It's just my brain saying, oh, I know what a heart looks like. I can do this on autopilot. And really, we just want to be present to what is and not what we think it should be or what we've seen it be in the past. And let's go over our black with a yellow. And you can turn your paper as needed. And I think at this point, I'm just gonna loop in Juneteenth with happy. Turning the paper too helps you to avoid smudging paint. And since we're coming around to the heart, let's just include it in Juneteenth. And let's include this heart as well. Should we go all the way in? We did. We went in a little bit. Okay. I think we get to use green now. You know, I think I actually want to do black. And this is our choice. We get to do whatever we want. So let's go in with black. You know, this just goes to show you that letters are really just shapes. You know, they're symbols that we've caused, they're shapes that we've made into symbols so that they mean something, like we've created meaning for those shapes. I think that's so interesting. Just creating meaning. And let's see if we can close this here just along the edge. Now we're going to go in with our green. And there's no need to rush. This voice is like, hurry up, you got to get to the reading. And it's just like, the reading comes after the meditation. How are you going to rush the meditation? You know? We're not moving slow for no reason. Let's go in with red finally. This is our first time using the red since writing in happy. And let's see if we even have room. Ooh, let's incorporate this heart since we're over here. Are we back to yellow? I think so. Ooh, let's color in these little bits here. Even though we can't draw any more layers. And that's really interesting to think about, even when you can't continue a pattern in life that you've been trying to, or that you've been doing before. How can you still decorate or participate in life a little bit, even if it's just coloring in the edge a little bit? Even if you can't do the full pattern. Sometimes you've just run out of space to do what you used to do. And that is so real. Sometimes you run out of space to do what you used to do at a job. you know? And it's like you do what you can until you can't anymore. And it doesn't have to be bad, it can just be. Be what the case is. And you can kind of feel that your project there is almost done. You can feel that your time there is wrapping up. And it's easy to want to jump ship and just say, well, there's nothing left for me here. But sometimes when you're trying to figure out what's next and you don't have it in sight of what's next, you just go ahead and color in those little bits of where you are, the project that you're working on. Just color them in. You see we're at the edge here, honey. Just color it in. Do what you can. And look, there's nothing wrong with running out. And now we're back to green. And we're just gonna color in a little bit of green here. And I am not a fan of the way that that looks right there in that corner. But shoot, that's the way it gets sometimes in a job too. You're just like, ooh, this is not what I wanted it to be. But you're doing your best because you have less space to navigate. And so the space that you had before that allowed you to create differently is gone. And that is so real. Let's just clean up this edge here. Ooh, we're doing our best. Okay, after green, it's red. And we're just gonna color in this space here on the edge. Color in this space on the edge. Over here. Over here. And over here. And I think this edge here. Ooh, look at us squeezing out as much as we can. And let's see what else we can do. Can we just do some dots in here? Going back on previous projects and doing our best to beautify them, because we are at the end. You know, I don't want to do too much. I am definitely the person who wants to do more and more and more. And I feel like there's something else that I want to do, but I don't know what it is. So for now, we'll just leave it with Happy Juneteenth. And we did it. Let's move on to our reading. Okay, so the decks we're going to be using today are African Goddess Rising Oracle from Abiola Abrams. And we're also going to be using the Melanated Classic Tarot by Julia Goolsby and Ubria Tronshaw. This is well loved, so she's a little broke down, but that's okay. All right, what's the message for the people today? What do you want us to know? Kind of feel like you wanted it to be all three. That might be enough. All right, so I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. I don't know that helps. That's okay. So we've got Mott, giving and receiving. It's a number 10. We've got Mbuya Nahanda, radical rebirth. That's a number 5. And we've got Seven Sisters, creativity is the keyword, and that's the number 12. Okay. So just in reading these numbers, it looks like I'm speaking to people who are experiencing a rebirth, and they've got divine protection and divine power behind that new beginning. It's a big change for them, and this change is going to bring community, it's going to bring fun, it's going to bring beauty, and it's going to bring color into their lives. The new beginning, the new beginning is a bit flamboyant. It's a bit outside of tradition. It's definitely carving their own path, and I think that this gradient, I'll turn this towards you just a little bit, or for a little bit. This gradient of going from mostly browns with this royal blue, peacock blue in the center, to then integrating even more color where it's this blue and purple indigo and this green, but there's still some browns here, to then this colorful scene here. It's not like coming to life because you were alive before, but it is kind of technicolor. If you think about bioluminescence and how amazing and magical and beautiful that the colors are, or the aurora borealis, how amazing and beautiful and magical that is, your life is going to an amazing and beautiful and magical place. So I think that's all that there is for today. We didn't even need to pull a card from the Melanated Classic Tarot, although I am feeling to at least just pull one. These are, okay. Let's just see. In closing, what message do you have for the people? Ooh, 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 ooh. Everybody calm down. That was one. That was two. I think that's it. That's all I'm feeling. We've got the King of Wands here. And we've also got Eight of Cups. So to me, this is saying that this is just reiterating what the Oracle deck said from the African Goddess Rising, just that you're in an advanced, perhaps, space of creativity, and you are also heading to a new place. So you're leaving something behind. You're leaving a place where you used to be behind, and you're moving on to discover new lands. And that can be a little emotional for sure, but it's also financially beneficial, this journey, this experience. So keep going, and this is life, just to try something, experience it, and see how it resonates. So congrats on your journey. I hope that this reading and this meditation has been a blessing to you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.